All right, we are live. For those watching the replay, skip to 4 or 5 minutes ahead. I'm giving everybody a grace period to get in here and letting everyone know we're starting officially. All right, let's let everybody know. All right, who else? For those who aren't here, let me know if you can hear me. All right, they got it. Start in about 4 minutes. Hopefully my alarm doesn't blast super loud, as it always does. If you can hear me, let me know in the chat. Give me a little yes. Hear you loud and clear in the chat, please, so I can make sure the audio is good. Even though I think the audio is good. Let's see. Sweet. All right. My question of the night: how does the news at 10 a.m. affect you from taking the 4-hour triggers if they trigger before? Great question, Brown. That'll be the first question that I ask or answer in 3 minutes. Of course. Definitely was an interesting day. Let me bring up my screen. I literally didn't do anything. I just wanted to relax today. There was some really good setups that I saw. I just didn't take them. I only took one trade, which was Tesla. It only hit one target, and then it came back and stopped me out at break even. But it is what it is. I'll talk about it later. What I am curious about is tomorrow and see what happens here with YM if we get that move back down. While I personally don't like the size of the wick on this candle here, I guess I will accept it because the thing there, hold on, let me bring this up here on the 4-hour. Yeah, if I take this short, I'm going to size super small with MYM because that stop loss is like 200 points. Let's see, where's my short tool? So stop would be at the body, 185 points stop loss. First target is 167, or I guess you could use the body if you want, which is 69 points, not bad. 167, and then 322 at the first target. Its ATR is 470, so they could definitely hit that second low on the 4-hour. We will definitely see what happens. That would be a nice one. All right, I'll start in a minute. For those who are in here, as always, please hit the like button or the thumbs up button. I would greatly appreciate it. We got jobless claims. The only thing I hope or I would prefer not to happen is that we gap down because I would want to take this short when it triggers. So that would be it's all 60 points away, 68 points from triggering short tomorrow. Huh. Well, let's see what happens. We're up right now, so all right, alarm went off. Let me just send this text real quick and then we'll officially start. All right. Uh, all right. Welcome, everybody. Excited to be here. My name is Advent, and I am not a financial advisor. Anything in this video or any of my content is not to be taken as financial advice because it is not financial advice. It is only for educational purposes only. Trading does have its risks, so please do your research before you engage in trading. We got 10 people in here and we got 4 likes. I'm gonna need more participation before we start. I'll give you guys about 30 seconds and then we will get into it. So hit the like button, hit the little thumbs up button. I will greatly appreciate it. Also, for those who are new here and have never been to one of these, if you don't know about me, like I said, my name is Advent. I've been a trader for almost half a decade now, and I am also a coach and a trader coach and a life coach, serving over 200 individual clients. Love what I do. Love being here. All right. Thank you guys for those thumbs up and the likes. So before I get into the question that Brown asked earlier, thank you, everybody. We reached 120 new subscribers in the last 5 days. Great stuff. Thank you very much. And because of that, would you guys like me to live trade tomorrow on YouTube? You can just give me a yes in the chat if that's what you want me to do as a thank you to you guys. So if you want me to live trade and you want to stick around, come through. All right, live trading tomorrow, 9:20 a.m. Eastern. I will be here. I'm gonna make the live stream similar to this one where you like get notified before it starts so you can be notified. So just keep that in mind. 9:20 a.m. tomorrow, that's when we'll start. I'll probably be on for like an hour, hour and a half, and we'll go from there. All right, cool. Thank you guys again. So Brown asked, for those who weren't here in the beginning, how does the news at 10 a.m. affect me from taking the 4-hour triggers if they trigger before? So Brown, if I'm understanding the question, let's say we open up as an inside bar and then it triggers me in at like, I don't know, 9:40, let's say. Is the news at 10 a.m. going to dictate if I get in that trade or not? Is that the question? Cool. So it does not influence my decision because if it triggers before 10 a.m., I'm still going to get into the trade because from my experience in the last 2-3 weeks now, only trading the strat for futures, specifically YM, when it triggers off the 4-hour, off the watch list, it usually goes 50 points at the minimum before 10 a.m. Now, if it hasn't triggered and it's close to triggering at like 9:59 or 9:58, then personally, I will probably not take the trade because I rather not have it wick me into the trade and then just shoot in the opposite direction. So I generally don't take any trades within 5 minutes of like a major news event. So something, to keep in mind. Sweet. So today I didn't really do much. I didn't take any trades on YM, even though there were really good ones. I didn't really want to trade on FOMC. I'm usually defensive, or I just don't trade at all on these days. So the only thing that I took today was a TTO on Tesla, which didn't even pan out. Well, it did pan out in the sense of it hit the first target. So we had this first TTO on the 5 minute on this 3-2 up that worked pretty much perfectly. Not my preferred TTO, but a TTO nonetheless. Where I entered in on was right here on this pullback. When this candle here went up on a 2 up, that's when I went long. And it took forever for it to hit target. I got in literally at 10:30, and then it hit target at around 11:05. I'll bring it up on TradingView so we can see it a little cleaner. Tesla, and we can see it in a larger frame. All right, so my trade for the TTO on Tesla was this. My entry was right above this candle. My stop loss was right under this red candle. It was at 20:30.15. My first target was this candle high right here. Second target was this candle high, then this one, and so forth. So I was pretty much targeting high of day. So I got into this trade. For those who were with me on the live this morning, you definitely heard that I messed up. I took the trade on my wrong account. I got in on my Roth as opposed to my regular individual account. So that was mistake number one that I did. And I only got one contract because I don't size too, in my Roth, since I don't have too much cash in there, since it's usually just for investments. I just got one contract. I paid about, I think, what, 270? Yeah, 270 for that contract, or 275, something around there when it triggered. And then my stop was right under here, which would have been about 230-ish, give or take, on the contract. When it hit the first target, the contract went to about 310, which was almost 20%. That was about what? 15, 18%, give or take, at the first target. And then since I only had one contract, instead of me taking it off there, which I usually do if I take it off at one contract just to build the account, what I instead did, because I was anticipating the price to go higher, I just set my stop loss at break even, and well, slightly above break even. And as soon as it hit the first target, I moved my stop to break even on the contract. I set the break even, well, not really at break even, but I moved the contract to like about 2.80, 2.82. So if it did come back, it will stop me out at that price, which it pretty much did on the same candle once it came back and once it hit the first target. And then I got stopped out. I made some coffee money, but it is what it is. Usually when these TTOs pan out, they go to target. It just ended up chopping up a lot, and the chop took away a good amount of the premium as well, which is a little annoying because the delta was about, what, 37 or 38? So at the first target, yeah, I guess with the volatility, that would have made sense with the $35 gain on the contract before it reversed. But generally, when we get a TTO, as we can see here, we get this move down, the push up. Generally, it moves up pretty quickly to target. We can see, where was another one that we had? This one nothing really happened there. That one failed. Yeah, we have another TTO here. So we get the push up, the push down right off a hammer, and just goes straight up and hits the targets. Which, if we compare what happened to today, it definitely did not go straight to target. It just chopped around basically until FOMC came out. But again, it is what it is. That's pretty much all I took today. Any questions on that? If not, we can get into the trades that you guys took today. I want to go over that TTO you took, Gandalf. I'm definitely curious. Do you trade Asia session? And if so, what instruments do you trade? Negative. I only trade the New York session because I like my relaxed time and I like sleeping. So I only trade the New York session from 9:30 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern. Is this the text I'm looking for? Also, thank you, Leo, for the proper etiquette for giving me your trades. So if you want me to go over your trades, if it's an options trade, please provide this information in the chat, because if you tell me you went long on SPY, that tells me nothing. And I can't help you if you tell me that you went long on SPY. Leo posted in the chat just now. He got IWM, the strike price, expiration, when he got in, when he got out, so on and so forth. So I'll review that in a bit. But again, if you want me to review your trades, this is what I want you to give me so I can best give you, feedback. All right, so let's see. When IWM, let's bring that up. Actually, let's go on Thinkorswim so we can see it side by side. And let's make this blue. Let's go to IWM. And then, what was it? 224? Wait, 224? Am I looking at the wrong thing? Oh, there we go. All right, I was super confused. And that's expiring on August 1st. All right, let's send that to blue. All right. IWM, I have it up here. And this was on the 4-hour, a trade that you took off the 4-hour. You got in at 10:14 Eastern. Let's just mark this level out real quick. So the long trigger for the 4-hour is here. And let's go down to the 5-minute. You got in. So you got in on this candle at 10:15, which was right here. So you got in around 195, 197-ish, or 195, 200, and your stop loss was 70 cents, which would have been about 130, 140. It's about a little more than 30% stop loss that I would like, but we'll keep it going. So 70-cent stop loss. Was this a winning trade, Leo? You got off at 11:05. So if you got out at 11:05, you pretty much got out around here. So this is like a 10 to 13% trade. Good stuff, I would say. Great job on that trade. You pretty much just took the continuation up. Although you said a 212 up, unless it was a 212 up on the 4-hour. Yeah, the 212 up on the 4-hour. So you got in a little late, which is still fine. You got in because it gapped up on the 2 up, but then it came back and it gave you another opportunity to get in. So good stuff there. And yeah, I'd imagine you took it to target, or maybe you mean that your target was 70 cents. which coincides with where you got out. Maybe that makes more sense. All in all, solid trade. Take the 4-hour trigger as we've gone over. Super simple, easy stuff. Very nice. How did you feel during the trade? Did you get nervous? Anything like that? Or did you just get in, set your alerts, and just let it do its thing? Not at all. You got in, let it do its thing. Great job. Good stuff. All right, next trade. Gandalf took a TTO on MNQ on the 5-minute. Drinking YMCB juice, huh? Always. This is my YMCB juice. Always in my black thermos. All right, let's see. So MNQ, you took a TTO. Was this a bullish TTO or was this a bearish TTO? And was it during the New York session? It was a bullish TTO, all right, which would make sense because today is bullish. New York session, all right. So long trigger is here, daily trigger is there. Let's go on the 5-minute. What time did you get into the trade? And what time and when did you exit? Well, I guess I'll just check 45 points after you got in, but what time did you get into this TTO? (9:55 a.m. Minnesota. What's that? Central? West Coast? Clearly, I don't know where Minnesota is, so. Central Time. All right. So that's 10:55 New York time. Hey, beautiful. That's literally the same one I was just looking at. Solid work. Yep. So for those who don't know, he got in on this TTO, pull back, go for the long. And if he took the TTO correctly, I would have entered in right there. Stop loss right under the TTO. My max target, but you can leave a runner if it goes higher, is right there. Oh yeah, yeah. Pretty much, you took the you took it to max target, which the TTO completed right up here. Fantastic job. That was a super clean one. Very nice. How did you feel during the trade? Were you nervous? Were you jittery? Did you just get in, let it do its thing, or what? Did you mess with the trade at all? Hey, very nice. He got in the trade, set the targets and the stop loss, and let it cook. And he came back in an hour to money. Yep, set it and forget. That's the way to go. Doesn't matter how much staring at the chart. It's not gonna make it go faster or slower. Very nice. Well done. And generally, depending how far the TTO is, like the completion, I may just keep like my first target to hit once it completes. If it's a little far away between like the target and previous candle wicks, I'll like take profit here and then the completion. It really depends. But generally, if the TTO is valid, it will complete and a new high of day is made. So fantastic work there, Gandalf. I literally saw the same thing that you did. So good job. Your eye is definitely getting there. Or well, not getting there. Your eye is there to catching them and knowing when they form and when to spot them. So fantastic work. I started trading with my real money Monday, currently up 30% in my whole account. I only had 3 losses and 7 winners. Fantastic work, Leo. Great job. Love to see it. On the days that you ended red or that you took those losses, did you follow your setup as you always do and then just went against you? Sweet. And you respected your stop loss. Fantastic work. Remember, everybody, losses are part of the journey. I myself had red days this month. Again, perfectly normal. If you approach trading with I'm only going to win, you are going to fail. I will tell you that. Where is the profits? Yep, so I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red days, and what was it? 15 winning days. Sweet. Remember, losses are part of the game. You cannot escape them. The most important thing is that when we take the losses, we don't let that take us over and go on tilt and then revenge trade. Because again, you're going to lose. It's part of the business. I wish it was 100% win. That would be great. Cool. So, any other trades that you guys want me to look at? YMCP juice. Any other trades that you guys want me to look at? If you want me to look at a trade for options, please give me this information that we have on the chart. And for futures, give me this information right here. And as I wait for those trades, reminder for those who may have come late, I'm going to be live trading on my YouTube channel tomorrow from 9:20 a.m. to probably 11 Eastern, maybe 12, depending how I feel, as a thank you for the 120 new subscribers in the last 5 days. Amazing stuff. Any other trades? I'll hang out for the next 3 to 5 minutes. If there are no other trades in that time, then we'll wrap it up and keep this one short today. Also, I'm not, for those who are wondering why I'm having this today as opposed to Friday, I'll be traveling Friday, so that's why I have it on Wednesday instead today. Next week, it'll go back on schedule on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern. So this is just a one off being on Wednesdays as opposed to Friday. Any trades at all, winning and losing, doesn't matter. There's no judgment here. We're here to make you better and to improve. Post it in the chat. Can I get a loan, son? Dad, with the amount of money that you're making on NQ, I am going to decline the loan. If anything, I should be asking you for a loan. I'll tell you what, the next cruise, it'll be on my dollar. Hey, Rick, you're gonna try what again? I took a long around on 6J. Ooh, we got some Forex or currencies finally. What was that? 6J. Japanese yen futures. Thank you, sir. I'm so glad that people are trading currency futures. It's so much better, in my opinion, than Forex because there's no spread. I hate spread so much. It'll stop you out without even hitting your stop loss. Anyway, let me not go off on a rant. I was looking at the 30-minute chart. All right. Are we looking at electronic hours? Or, well, I guess if it's regular trading hours, that would be um, that would be New York session. It was 1:30 Central Eastern or PM in the morning or afternoon. Oh man, this is a nice TTO on this right here. Off a hammer on an inside bar? Come on. Doesn't get any easier than that. Man, that was a clean one. Afternoon. All right, let's see. So if that's Central, 1:30 Central. Let me just get this so I can see exactly where you got in. 66780. 66780. 66780. All right, so you got in here. Where was your stop loss? And he got out at 890. 890 was there. I'm going to imagine if you took this as a, well, this is on the, whoops, let me go to the 30-minute, duh. All right, let's see. So my stop loss would be here. If you're looking at as a TTO, which it pretty much is a gigantic TTO, max target is up there. All right, my question for you is, if you took this trade on the 30-minute, why was your entry here when strat-wise, your entry is going to be here? Unless it triggered and then it came back and filled you. I'm just trying to be on the same page. Because if you entered in at 780, the actual strat trigger is right up there at 810. And then you got out at the first target up here, right there. Your stop was the low before the hammer candle, which was right under this candle here. Pretty tight stop loss, but we'll accept it. Question for you. Did you get into this trade as soon as the camera closed? Or did you get into the trade as soon as this candle triggered 2 up? I set a stop entry at the top. Gotcha. All right. Maybe I guess it like pulled back, or like if the date is delayed or something, I don't know. Maybe it just filled you in at a better fill, which is great. I'll definitely accept a lower fill. I'll tell you that. Let's see. And then you took it off pretty much here at the first strat target. How many ticks is that? 22 ticks? How much does this move? Let's see. We have currencies here. That was Japanese yen. What's the tick value? $6.25 per tick. All right, let's go back to TradingView. So 6.25 per tick. So this is 22 ticks, which would be, what was that, 6.25 times 22? $137.50. Not bad. I'll definitely take that. And that was what? 890. So you triggered here. 890 was this candle. No, was it this candle? So basically in 15 minutes, $137.50. Not bad. I'll definitely accept that. The max target here, if you let it run to the TTO up there, that's 105 ticks times 6.25, $656 and change. In my opinion, you did good on this trade because with a TTO this large, I would scale out at the previous candle highs as it goes in my favor. So in my opinion, you did a fantastic job. I would have done the same thing. If you only had one contract, it can be a little challenging because you only have one contract. You might consider the micros of the yen future so you can actually scale out of the position in the sense of, what is the micro? Let's see. Yen futures. Micro? Would it even show here? Do they even have micros? MJY. Duh. Yeah, in this case, ew. This thing has like no volume. Or maybe it's just a chart. Yeah, it looks like this thing has like no volume. Maybe stick to the mini version or the parent version. Yeah, I would say in this case, you know, you did a great job at scaling it out at the first target. That's what I would probably do, especially if it's so far away as the max TTO completion. Not only that, personally, I would say this to review this trade. I would not have taken it because it's during FOMC and I don't trade during that time. But FOMC aside, this is a fantastic trade because it's pretty much a clear TTO setup and it's off a hammer. Those are the highest probability ones that I love to take. They don't come too often, but great job on spotting the trade. And you follow your plan. You took it off at the target that you wanted or that the strat entails. So great job there. Let's see. The 15-minute in the beginning of the day gave you a good TTO as well. So you could have entered in here. Target 1 at this wick, 31 ticks. TTO completed at 51 ticks. Good stuff. And it gave you another TTO right here on this pullback push up that completed. But yeah, all in all, great trade. Keep on practicing with the strat and keep me updated on your progress. But yeah, overall, great trade. How did you feel when you were in the trade? Welcome, Blue Knight. It's all good. So yeah, Despond, how did you feel during the trade when you were in it? And let me know if what I just mentioned about scaling out, or maybe you can get even 2 contracts and paper trade that, depending on the stop losses and stuff, you can do that. But let me know if that made sense on how I would have taken that trade, with the distance. I was a bit stressed trying to figure out my exit since I'm only moving 1 contract. So I dropped down to the 15 and 5-minute chart. Gotcha. So what I would say is this, in response to you being stressed, Still, you did a great job because, again, I would have taken profit at that first level as well. If I had more, I would have scaled out. But again, great job on that trade. Even though you were stressed, at least from what you've told me so far, it doesn't sound like you messed with the trade too much. You followed the plan. You had your target there, your stop loss there, and then you just waited. That's all you can do. So, learning experience for the next time. We know what we can do better. What is the best time frame for beginners? If you're new to the strat, Rob Smith, the creator, recommends the higher time frame. So like, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, even the daily, stuff like that. A problem that I find that new traders do when they discover the strat, they'll be like, oh my God, this is easy money. Let me go on the 1 minute. Let me go on the 5 minute. Yeah, you can get good trades on the 5 minute, but I personally I wouldn't do anything under the 5 minute personally. So, the 1 minute or even the 3 minute, 2 minute using strat, there's too much noise, way too much noise, especially for futures. You're going to get stopped out a billion times a day. So I'd rather just get the higher probability setups and just keep it simple. So if you're new to trading the strat, I like the 1 hour, I like the 4 hour and the 30 minute. If you're going to be day trading, if you're going to be swing trading, the usual, daily, weekly, monthly, if you want, if you're swinging that far out. So do you ever carry your trades into market close? Absolutely not. If I have a day trade, that trade is getting closed that same day. I usually hit my target within an hour anyway, so I'm out of the trade anyway. But I never, ever turn a day trade into a swing trade. Not only that, we're trading futures, so I'm not going to put up $10,000, $13,000 for 1 or 2 contracts, depending my position size. So if I'm day trading, I'm day trading. If I'm swing trading, then I'm swing trading. I don't intermingle both. Now, if my day trade, let's say I'm on an option contract and I'm up like 300% on a runner position, sure, I'll leave it overnight, see if I can get some more juice. But generally, that's very, very rare. I always close it because I'm good, honestly. I like to sleep peacefully, and having a position open does not make me sleep peacefully. For futures, I don't swing trade at all. I just day trade, keep it simple. For if I'm swing trading and I get in on the swing trade and it hits my first target that same day, I'll scale out of my position and then move my stop to entry. I do it in reverse, in the sense of I won't let a day trade become a swing trade, but I will let a swing trade become a day trade if it hits my targets. Because if it's a swing trade, generally those targets are pretty far. And if it hits it the same day, that move is pretty explosive, to say the least. So hopefully that helps. Cool. All right. We got another 10 minutes here since I got to run off and have some stuff planned for later. So the next 10 minutes before we wrap up, any other trades that you guys want to go over, any questions that are in relation to trade review and trade recap. If you do want me to answer a question that is off topic, I am probably not going to answer it. You're more than welcome to book a session and we can talk about it. But again, let's just keep it in relation to trade review and trades that you took or trades that I took. I should be getting the super chat activated in a day or two. So in other live sessions or classes, if you guys do want to ask me a question that's off topic or not relevant to what we're talking about, you're more than welcome to use a super chat and I will answer your question. Just to be fair to those who, because I charge for guidance and specific information. And I just want to be fair to the people who pay, as opposed to just people who come on my free class and ask any type of questions that I charge for. So again, just to be respectful for people that I've worked with before, and also to respect the class that we're having and be on topic, I will only answer questions that are on the topic. This may be a stretch here, but I follow the PMG setup. How would you describe the difference between that and a TTO? Great question. For those who don't know what a PMG is, that is a pivot machine gun. Let's bring up the visual. Should be in here, candle combination. I have an example here. So there's a pivot machine gun. It's a pretty much one candle that takes out all the previous candles in one go. As we, so a pivot machine gun can be a TTO. Like, I'll explain it this way. A TTO is just like a trade model, right? But the TTO can form in a way that's a pivot machine gun. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's see if we could find a live example. I think Brown mentioned there was a PMG on the 1 hour on YM. All right, so I wouldn't consider this a TTO, but I would consider this a PMG. So we have these three candles here, and we have this big candle that took all of them out in one shot. Even here, right over here, we get this red candle, takes all these lows out in one shot. Any other PMGs that we have? I guess you can say this over here could have been a PMG when this triggered 2 down, because it took all these guys out. Well, it didn't really take them out, but it took a succession of candles out in one fell swoop. We can see this as a PMG as well, right here. Took out all these lows in one shot. But yeah, does that make sense on the difference between the PMG and the TTO, or like how they can and how they can't correlate? Sweet. All right, so we got another 5 minutes. Any last trades that you guys want to go over? Any other trades? Got 5 more minutes, and then we'll go over the wrap up and what you guys learned today and the biggest takeaways. If you're going to give me a trade, please format it like this in the chat. I would greatly appreciate that. I'll give it another minute. If there are no trades, we'll wrap up, and then I'll ask you guys the question that I always ask you. "30 seconds to go before we wrap up the trade review." All right, no more trade review. As we officially wrap up, what was everybody's biggest takeaway, or what was the biggest thing that stood out to you or that you learned today? Type it in the chat. Biggest thing that you learned today, or biggest thing that you're taking away from today's session? And as you guys are doing that, I'll set up the live streaming for tomorrow. It should let me. Let's see. I wonder if it'll break. Cool. All right. So, like I mentioned, we're going to do a live stream tomorrow on the YouTube as a thank you for you guys and all the new subscribers that we got. Let's see. The playlist will go in there. No, it's not made for kids. I'll edit all that other information later on. Let's continue. This will be tomorrow at let's do 9:15. So it does increments of 15 minutes. So 9:15, I'll see you all to here tomorrow. Done. All right, that's for tomorrow. All right, let's go back here. All right, biggest takeaway. You can control if your trade is a winner or a loser. Wait. Oh yeah, you can't. I was about to say, I was like, wait, you can? That's news to me. Yeah, you cannot control if your trade is a winner or loser. Just follow your setup. Absolutely. The only thing that you can do is control yourself and what you do. So definitely great takeaway, Gandalf. Gandalf Skywalker, perfect name. I started watching Rings of Power. I'm like super late to the party, but I started watching it on Amazon Prime. Pretty good so far. I'm enjoying it. Any other takeaways or something that you guys learned from today's session? Ooh, sweet. Season 2. Perfect. Give me enough time to catch up. Any other takeaways? I'll wrap it up in a minute if there aren't any other takeaways. Today I learned that I've basically been looking at TTO when trading PMG. Interesting. And remember, sometimes a TTO will look like a PMG, right? Let's see if I could find one. Man, on NQ. Would I consider that a PMG? If Brown is in here, he can confirm. So this is more of a bearish TTO on NQ yesterday off the daily. It took these 3 candles out in one shot. For me, that would be just a TTO. I wouldn't really see it as a PMG personally, but you can if you want to. Oh, I'm not even showing my screen. Hold on. Let me go back here. Yeah, so on NQ, we had a really nice bearish TTO yesterday off the daily. Push down, push up, push back down. break structure. You get in right here, your entry, target 1, target 2, if you're using the daily targets. I'll probably take profit every 20, 30 points. You ain't going to catch me up 80 points on NQ and not take some profit. But yeah, definitely glad that was a good takeaway for you, Despond. Remember, every day we improve and we train our eyes to see these things better. But again, great job today. You did. That was a good trade. All right. Other than that, thank you guys for coming out. I greatly appreciate it. If you're not already, I would appreciate if you guys subscribe. Always remember to like the videos. That way it can be pushed out there by the algorithm, and more people can join us and learn together. I will see you guys at 9:15 a.m. Eastern tomorrow for live trading, and enjoy the rest of your night. Good night.